Rage was devastated. Angeline, his love, had left him. He wandered their empty apartment, his heart a hollow ache in his chest. Memories haunted him. Her laughter in the kitchen, their whispered secrets in the dead of night, the warmth of her hand in his. He couldn't bear the thought of a life without her. Desperation clawed at him. He had to have her back.
An old friend, a purveyor of trinkets and charms, had once shown me a bottle of perfume. For desperate measures he had chuckled, to bind a love that's gone astray. I had scoffed then, but now, clutching the ornate vial in my trembling hand, I felt a flicker of hope.
He remembered the instructions whispered with the perfume. A single drop on her doorstep, a whispered incantation, and she would be his again. The thought sent a chill down his spine, but the pain of losing Angeline was a more potent force. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the city, he stood on her doorstep, the heavy scent of jasmine and a love he yearned to possess filling the air. It wasn't long after that Angeline returned. He saw her standing at his door, eyes filled with a familiar longing.
I missed you. I realized the error of my ways.
Her voice when she spoke was a balm to his wounded soul.
I held her close, my heart soaring with a joy so intense it bordered on pain.
Their days were a heady mix of passion and whispered promises. He reveled in her presence, in the way she looked at him, touched him, as if he were the only man in the world. Yet a seed of doubt lingered in the back of his mind. Her declarations of love were almost too fervent, her need for him almost suffocating.
The scent of jasmine, once intoxicating, now seemed cloying, suffocating. I found myself recoiling from her touch, the memory of her leaving a phantom pain that refused to fade.
The love he had so desperately craved felt like a gilded cage, trapping him in a relationship that was as beautiful as it was hollow. The guilt began to eat at him. This wasn't the Angeline he knew, the woman who challenged him, who argued with him, who loved him with an open heart. This Angeline was a pale imitation, her every word, every touch dictated by a force beyond her control. Rage found himself withdrawing, seeking solace in the silence of his thoughts. He avoided her eyes, afraid of what he might see in their depths. The joy he had felt at her return had soured, replaced by a gnawing fear and a deep, bone-chilling regret.
I tried to convince myself that it was just my imagination, that the spell was merely a crutch, a way to bridge the gap until our love found its own footing again. But the doubt persisted, whispering in my ear, reminding me of the unnatural hold I had over her heart.
Rage, I don't know what's happening to me. I can't seem to think straight.
Angeline, there's something I need to tell you. I used a love potion. I thought it would bring us back together.
The truth hung in the air, heavy and unsettling. Angeline's eyes widened, a mix of shock and betrayal.
A love potion? How could you do this to me, Rage?
I was desperate, Angeline. I couldn't bear to lose you.
But the damage was done. The spell was revealed, and with it, the fragile trust between them shattered.
Rage, my dear, you look so lost. What's happened?
Mom, I've made a terrible mistake. I used a love potion on Angeline. Now everything's falling apart.
Rage's mother listened, her heart breaking for her son. She had always feared his intense emotions would lead to trouble.
Oh, Rage, love can't be forced. It has to come naturally. You need to make things right.
I don't know if I can, Mom. I've hurt her so much.
In his mother's embrace, Rage found a moment of solace, but the path to redemption seemed more daunting than ever. Days turned into weeks, and the weight of his actions bore heavily on Rage. One evening, he found himself at the graveyard, seeking solace among the whispers of the past.
Rage, what are you doing here?
Angeline, I come here to think, to try and understand what I've done.
Angeline's presence was unexpected, yet it brought a glimmer of hope to Rage's tormented soul.
I've been thinking too, Rage. About us. About everything. Maybe there's a way to move forward.
Do you really think so, Angeline, after all that's happened?
In the quiet of the graveyard, amidst the whispers of lost souls, a fragile hope began to take root. Perhaps, just perhaps, there was a path to healing.